My wonderful, beautiful Virgos out in this world, including Virgo placements. I'm Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot. For this week, we're going to be doing the second Macabre Tarot titled Explore the Shadow Spread. And as you can see, if you got a chance to watch the previous Virgo, I had the veil covering over my face, but now I have it off. I still have it right here. So, but anyway, I kind of wanted to change things up a bit, even wearing a different necklace for this week. So we'll see which necklace I'm going to be wearing for next week or for the third Macabre. So it's going to be based off a 4 card spread. I'm going to be reading the questions. I'm going to be drawing the four cards, to see if they'll resonate with you in any way. So anyway, let's get started with your reading. So for question number 1, where are you currently? Ace of Cups, new offerings, maybe love, because it is just a general reading. It's not based off of career or anything, but you could be embracing new love, or maybe you could be somebody's new love as well. Or you could also have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio placements as well. But this is a very interesting and beautiful position to even currently be in, because it's like any kind of new beginning or any kind of love offering. It just kind of gives you this sense of like this new adventure that you're embarking on, any kind of. And the fact is if you even got chosen as being new love and stuff like that, that is probably one of the most euphoric feelings ever, to think I got chosen to be this person's companion and stuff like that. So I think this is a beautiful position to currently be in. And I think, but this could also not quite be like the Ace of Pentacles, but this could also still be any kind of new offering in other ways. Maybe it's also career related, but either way, this is definitely a beautiful position to currently be in. New beginnings and just newness, right? Because then we'll get to question number 2. What is giving you a false sense of safety? 3 of Bones. Okay. Having to go out on a voyage or quest, what have you. But either way, maybe you're not much of a traveler. Maybe you just don't really care about having to get out and will find new love. Or maybe, it's like if you're in a single position and you're hoping to find some form of companion, it's like it's probably the best way to go about it is by getting out and just trying new environments. But I would mostly first start in areas like your own personal hobbies, your own skills, your own abilities and stuff like that. I wouldn't per se go after career per se. But either way, if this is kind of what's kind of giving you this little sense of uneasiness by saying, but that means I have to get out and and find it and stuff like that, or experiencing. Yeah, it's like it's I don't know. I mean, the best way is just to kind of counteract those thoughts and feelings, because that's for question number 3, but this is kind of, I think, a common feeling that a lot of humans have felt or currently could still be experiencing, is where you just think, oh goodness, I need to get out and find this new thing and stuff like that. So, but anyway, for question 3, what shadow is dwelling just beyond those feelings of safety? 5 of Cups. Disappointment. Okay, well, it more or less just makes sense, doesn't it? The reason why you probably just don't want to get out and have to be finding new beginnings or offerings is because maybe, you've experienced nothing but setbacks and disappointments that mostly kind of kept you just thinking, you know what? I want to have it, but I don't feel like having to risk anything anymore. I don't want to be taking any more risks or leaps of faith. Yes, that's exactly what you probably need to do in order to achieve that desired outcome. But the thing is, sad but true, it's like it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows, but it's not always going to be the same nightmares. The best way to counteract those thoughts is try to actually think, okay, it's like, I know I've already experienced those situations before. I mean, that's why, for any person, if you have any kind of negative feelings, just like me, that's, this is where my cautionary tale practically comes in the sense, if you're in any kind of situation and you feel uneasy, like, how the vampire came into my store and stuff like that. The deep inside truth is that, I should have listened to my intuition. But of course, it's like my human even told me, said, but, you're practically, the blessing in the sky, silver lining for a lot of humans out in this world. So I try to kind of embrace that thought. But the point is, it's like if you're in any kind of situation that makes you feel really uneasy, that you really think, I just need to, I need to get out of this place. Listen to it. Just immediately turn around and walk away, and don't just think, well, I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I don't want to come across as being this. If, they have like, and some, negative intentions, but they're not being honest and open with you, and yet, you kind of start feeling that kind of sense, in any way, then it's not rude or wrong at all just to say, you know what, I've been down this road, I'm not going to be dealing with it again. And that's where I see so many, and this is, what happens mostly to young girls out in this world, is they go out like to these big, social gatherings with all this loud music and stuff. I actually did that once, but I didn't really care for it all too much, to be honest. It's not really my kind of genre and stuff. But the point is, a lot of these girls, they tend to kind of just say, okay, it's like I'm here with my friends, and then, it's like, most of the times it could be one of the best nights ever. But then, it's like there's that one experience or a couple experiences that start gradually showing up where, these girls somehow get, will end up in a real, negative, practically dangerous position and stuff like that. And then, and that's why, they pretty much just think, okay, I'm not doing this anymore because I don't feel like having my life compromised anymore. So, and those are usually good cautionary tales to even, be, bringing forth and stuff like that. So, but anyway, how can you reach the shadow of disappointment? 3 of Daggers, one of the cards I pulled for the vampire, how interesting, is by remembering all of the negative moments, but don't let the negative moments have control of any kind of new beginnings. And that's the deep and sad and honest truth. Now, if I was human, I would probably be able to be thinking differently. But the thing is, it's very important to always remember all the negative signs so then you can try to avoid them. Don't be like some of these humans that say, oh, forget about the past, forget about the negativity. The thing is, it's like you want to be able to actually remember what you did wrong the last time so then you can improve it, right? And not just think, well, you're just only holding on to the negative memories. Well, the reason why is because you want to try to improve it for next time. You don't just suddenly, if you, it's like even what the human was telling me, I think, his last like entrance exam or something, or some kind of test he took, it's like, he barely passed or something. I didn't quite understand because I wasn't really paying attention because I was actually more reading and stuff like that. But the thing is that, it's like he wanted to also know what he did wrong, which answers he answered incorrectly, because then, well, if you could improve on that for the actual, situation, it's like what I've even mentioned so many times, how, when you're taking an entrance exam, that's just only, the sample, will sort of flavor you're kind of getting, the taste you're getting for that career. But the most important time you're actually going to be judged is maybe when you're in that position. And that is a far more, hard situation to actually be embracing, because a test is just a piece of paper. I know it's always, you're always going to be judged by all people who put down a red cross or a green check mark, what have you, and stuff like that. But back to you, the point is to actually, just say, okay, what did I do wrong the last time and how can I improve? And then you'll be in a more successful, position, rather than just thinking, oh yeah, but I wouldn't allow any kind of disappointment from causing, you to live a happy and fulfilled and successful life. Just learn from, the past mistakes. Try to see what you can learn from in current for the future, and then you'll be in a far way better position. And then you don't have to be struggling with any more, like worries about the 3 of Wands of having to get out or something, or even disappointment with the 5 of Cups. Well, it's a bit shorter than usual, but I just, that's why it's just a 4-question spread for this week. Please feel free to stay tuned for next week's 6-card spread. Is practically about the rebirthing with the Death card in the middle, if you even got a chance to watch this, the sample general reading. Anyway, I want to thank you so much for joining me in this beautiful evening. Lately, it's just been nothing but beautiful, but pretty soon we're going to be getting hit with like all kinds of storms and stuff like that, which I also love. But other than that, I love you guys incredibly, and as per usual, take excellent good care of yourselves.